subscribe, hit the bell button so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video, and smash the like button. So tonight, I'm gonna do something a little different. Gonna look at those natal charts and find out what your magical abilities are based upon your 8th house placement. So if you are interested in finding out what your magical occultic ability is, if you already know what your 8th house placement is, let me know. And if you don't already know what your 8th house placement is, then we can find out by pulling a natal chart for you. You'll want to know I'll need to know your name. I'll need to know your birth time and place. And I will also need to get your date of birth. So if you're interested in that tonight, let me know. We're going to go into it. In the meantime, while we are kind of waiting for you guys to come up and come on, I'm going to go into a little bit of my 8th house magical abilities, and it makes a lot of sense. So that's what we need to do. Right now, we need to realize that, look, this religion shit has set us back a few hundred years, baby, okay? And we got to catch up, okay? How we gonna do that is through our spiritual work and our spiritual powers. Now, I know that sometimes it's very uncomfortable, especially if you've been indoctrinated to religion and you think the religion is the end all be all, or even if it's about just like focusing on like the Bible or like spiritual books that have been created. I understand it is scary. It's not the easiest thing to accept and to receive, but you know, those books have been changed, and they have been changed to our detriment, not to our assistance. So I'm going to go into my 8th house and we're going to take a look at this and see what it's talking about. So, your 8th house is where we're going to find some of that metaphysical power, your occultic power. Okay, so let's take a look. So your metaphysical powers in the 8th house in Aries: intense willpower and manifestation, ability to harness fire energy, leadership to occult practices, transformative warrior spirit, psychic protection and defense, clairvoyance or physical abilities in moments of action, karmic and ancestral healing. Now, I find this very interesting to look at and read because my path led me to do these things before I knew that that was my capability to do them. Okay, so yeah, reading this, it's just like, oh, so that's, I've been doing what naturally I'm able to, like, natural abilities that I have. I did not realize or recognize that there was specific ways in your natal chart that you can look and find what your natural abilities are magically. And so when I looked at this list of my magical abilities, it makes a lot of sense. Because I have been doing a lot of karmic and ancestral healing over the last few years. That's basically been my focus. So if you guys are interested, we can go into your 8th house. If you want to pull up your 8th house, then we can take a look and see what those abilities are. Or maybe what I can do is just pull 8th house for various different signs, and then you guys can go look at your own chart and figure out for yourself. So let's do it in that way. Let's start with Aries. So if you have an 8th house in Aries, your metaphysical power house within Aries is intense willpower and manifestation. Aries bring boldness and decisiveness to 8th house, giving you a natural ability to manifest your desires through sheer determination. You may excel in manifestation techniques like visualization and intention setting because you instinctively focus your energy on what you want. Ability to harness fire energy. So Aries, a fire sign, connects you to the primal power of fire. This can translate into working effectively with fire-related magical tools such as candles and wands, using fire rituals for purification, transformation, or burning away the old to make space for the new. Being energized by the element of action, making your spell work dynamic and quick action. Okay. So the leadership in occult practices also says Aries gives you a pioneering spirit, a pioneering spirit. You're not afraid to explore new metaphysical realms or create your own practices. You might feel drawn to lead or guide others in transformative experiences, such as guiding others through spiritual breakthroughs or rituals. Transformative warrior spirit. So Aries imbues the eighth house themes of death and rebirth with a warrior like resilience. You are unafraid of delving into life's mysteries and can face darkness head on, emerging stronger. This is a powerful placement for shadow work or leading others through healing journeys. So if you have Aries in the eighth house, you are probably very good and skilled at shadow work. And you can help others go through their shadow work as well, which is really good when you're doing things like past life regressions, or you are helping people to heal any of the woundings that they may have traumatically from childhood, or even past life traumas that they need to heal that continue to impact them in their current life. Now, the psychic protection and defense is next. Aries in the eighth house gives you a natural ability to create energetic shields and protect yourself from psychic attacks or negative entities. You may excel in combat energy practices, such as psychic protection spells or warding rituals. Clairvoyance or psychic abilities in moments of action. Your intuition sharpens during moments of crisis or high energy. You might find flashes of clairvoyance or heightened perception during times when adrenaline is running high. That means that during high intensive situations, your intuition is heightened. That means that you are, during crisis situations, during times when situations are dire need, okay, your adrenaline is pumping, you are going to work masterfully during those times, okay? The next one is karmic and ancestral healing. The eighth house governs shared karma and ancestral ties. Aries brings courage and a trailblazing approach to healing these areas. You may have the abilities to break generational curses or pave a new path for your lineage through spiritual practices. So that means that you are for your family as it relates to ancestral ancestral traumas, past hurts, past pains. Most likely you are going to be the one that is going to heal your ancestral wounding that has occurred. If you are an Aries in the eighth house, those are some of the magical abilities that you have available to you. Okay, so how do they develop these powers? Engage in active rituals. So if you have the eighth house in Aries, you want to engage in active rituals involving movement, dancing, drumming, or dynamic meditation can activate your energy. This is very interesting. These are things that I've discovered naturally. I didn't have to read my natal chart to discover these things, but it's important to see them because now I know that they are even that more important to continue to proceed through. Okay, incorporate fire-based elements like candles, bonfires, or solar imagery into your practices. The next one that's going to help you to develop these powers is embrace your shadow work. Dive deep into your subconscious fears or emotional patterns and confront them with boldness of Aries, okay? The thing about knowing what your natal placements are is that whatever your this astrological sign is in specific houses, it's really going to you're going to be able to use the power of that zodiac sign for that specific placement. Okay, so if you have Aries in the eighth house, you got that fire, baby, in the eighth house as it relates to your magic. So use it, okay? So next up, use tools like journaling, tarot, or dream work to guide the process. Very interesting. A lot of these things I already do naturally. I picked it up on my own. It wasn't something that somebody taught me or told me. I literally just figured it out myself. So the third option to help you increase these powers if you have Aries in the eighth house is explore leadership in occult communities. Your Aries energy is perfect for taking charge in group rituals, teaching occult practices, or leading workshops. So balance impulsivity with strategy. Very good. While Aries grants quick action, it's important to channel this energy deliberately in your spiritual work for greater results. Okay, so if you've got Aries in the eighth house, you want to use your spiritual practice actually to help you get the best options and the best results. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me take a look at this comment because I don't know. Um, hey Blow, how's it going? Hey Jonathan, welcome. How are we doing? So potential challenges. Okay, here we go. So if you have eighth house, if you have Aries in the eighth house, and you are looking to find out what your occultic skill sets are, the potential challenges for you would be impulsivity. Aries energy can be quick to action without full consideration. In occult work, this can lead to premature conclusions or careless rituals. Now, this is something that I think probably my other placements have given me very much uh, a balance in, because I don't particularly do ritual work impulsively. Not at all. Because I think that is very important to remember that, just because you get upset about or mad about something doesn't mean that, certain, basically what I'm saying is each action is based upon the punishment fits the crime, basically. Okay. So just think about that. So I guess that's going to be based upon your other placements, because my placements haven't made me impulsive in that way when it comes to ritual work. I'm very careful with my ritual work. Need for practice, need for patience. The transformative nature of the eighth house requires depth and persistence, which can challenge Aries' desire for immediate results. Okay, so if you're just, I need results right now, quick and fast, let's go. Okay. All right, so let's move on to Pisces. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Aries and Pisces. I'm sorry, eighth house and Pisces. And let's see. So if you've got the eighth house in Pisces, you are going to have various different metaphysical powers. Okay, let's go into it. So your metaphysical powers, if you have the eighth house in Aries, is intuitive and psychic abilities. Okay, so Pisces is the eighth house in the eighth house, grants you natural psychic sensitivity. You may experience clairvoyance, seeing beyond the psychic realm, clairaudience, hearing messages from spiritual guides, prophetic dreams or visions. Okay, connections to the spiritual realm. So you have an intimate ability to connect with the spirit realm, with the spirit world. This placement makes you a natural medium or channel for higher wisdom. Your dreams may be a portal for communication with ancestors, guides, or other entities. Now, if you don't have the eighth house in Pisces, that doesn't mean that you don't also have these abilities, because I do have that ability right there too. My dreams being a portal, communicating with the ancestors, guides, and entities, I'm able to do that clearly. That's just did it last night, right? So that doesn't, you may be interchangeable. You may have interchangeable powers as well, but the ones that are going to be the strongest with you are those that are based upon your eighth house placement. Okay. So moving forward, we're going to look at the healing powers that you have if you have the eighth house in Pisces. Pisces' empathic nature and the eighth house's transformative energy combine to give you the ability to facilitate profound healing for yourself and others. This could manifest as energy healing, Reiki and chakra work, emotional release through counseling and intuitive guidance, cleansing and clearing negative energy in spaces or people. Additionally, if you have the eighth house in Pisces, dream, magic, and astral work. So your dreams are rich with symbolic and magical potential. You have a gift for dream interpretation and can engage in lucid dreaming or astral travel to explore other dimensions. So it causes me to wonder, because I'm able to do many of the things if Pisces in the eighth house, I'm able to do many of these things that have been mentioned thus far, pretty much everything I can do. So that's a very interesting thing here. Anyway, 5, it says power in mystical practices. So I feel like what that means is these are not the limitations of your abilities, by the way. What we're reading about in your eighth house, these are not the limitations of your abilities. These are just the strongest abilities that you have if you have the eighth house in these placements, okay? So power in mystical practices. Pisces connection to Neptune enhances your abilities in ritual involving water, cleansing baths, moon water, or oceanic energy, scrying with a water or crystal ball, working with the moon and tides to amplify spiritual work. Profound emotional and spiritual transformation. So the eighth house governs rebirth, and Pisces adds a spiritual depth to this. You can guide yourself or others through deep emotional or karmic healing, helping to release old patterns and embrace spiritual renewal. Compassionate magic. So your magic is fueled by empathy and compassion. You excel in spell work for emotional healing, love and forgiveness, creating harmony and peace. Okay, so if you have the 8th house in Pisces, these are your natural given occult abilities. How to develop these powers for Pisces in the 8th house? Dream journaling. Keep a detailed record of your dreams to uncover patterns and messages from your subconscious and spirit guides. Practice lucid dreaming to enhance your spiritual exploration. Water rituals. Incorporate water into your rituals for cleansing and emotional release. Use baths, ocean, or rain as tools for transformation. Try scrying by gazing into the water for vision and intuitive insights. Meditation and intuitive development. So spend time in quiet reflection to strengthen your connection to the unseen world. Guided meditations on connecting with spirit guides can be especially powerful. Trust your intuition and practice following its guidance in daily life. The next one is going to be creative expression as magic. Pisces artistic nature can make creative outlets like painting, writing, or music a form of spiritual expression and manifestation. The next one will be shadow work and spiritual growth. So if you have Pisces in the 8th house, Pisces encourages you to dive into the emotional depths of the 8th house for healing and transformation. Explore ancestral healing, karmic release, or forgiveness practices. The potential challenges, if you have Pisces in the 8th house, the potential challenges that may come up or arise for you would be boundaries. Pisces' empathetic nature can make it difficult to shield yourself from negative energies. Strengthen your boundaries through grounding and protection rituals. Escapism. The dreamy nature of Pisces can lead to escapism. Ensure your metaphysical practices are balanced with real-world grounding. Overwhelm. The spiritual depth of this placement can be intense. Practice self-care to avoid emotional burnout. Okay. So, if you have the 8th house in Pisces, those are going to be the natural metaphysical capabilities that you possess. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the very next zodiac sign. We are looking at 8th house placements and what are the natural capabilities that the 8th house placement gives you. All right, so 1 second here. All right, let's move on to, oh, I went backwards, didn't I? I did. All right, let's go to Taurus. So Taurus, we are going to find out the 8th house, the magical or metaphysical abilities if you have the 8th house in Taurus. So your metaphysical powers with 8th house in the Taurus would be manifestation through material anchor. So Taurus gives you the ability to manifest your desires through tangible means. You excel in using physical tools like crystals, herbs, and sigils to ground and amplify your intentions. You may have a talent for turning spiritual energy into material success or abundance. We also have connection to earth energy. So Taurus is an earth sign, making you naturally attuned to the earth, to the energy of the earth. Your powers are enhanced by working with nature, spirit, plants, and animals. Conducting rituals outdoors to draw upon the earth's strength and stability. Grounding yourself to channel powerful transformative energy. You also have the ability to for mastery of sensory magic. So your senses, sight, touch, taste, smell, and sound are magical tools. You can create powerful rituals by incorporating aromatherapy or herbal blends, sound healing such as singing bowls and chants, and sacred meals or offerings to connect with divine energies. Wealth and prosperity magic. Taurus in the eighth house gives you a natural affinity for abundance and financial transformation. You may excel in manifesting wealth or resources through spells and rituals, helping others release limiting beliefs around money and embracing prosperity. You also have the deep emotional and physical healing ability. So you have the power to provide grounding and healing energy to others. This can manifest as energy healing that focuses on balancing emotions on the body, such as Reiki or touch based healing methods. Emotional support and guidance during times of transformation. Helping people overcome trauma or fears related to the physical world. Additionally, if you have Taurus in the eighth house, your metaphysical occult abilities looks like magic through beauty and sensuality. Venusian influence allows you to use beauty as a magical force. You can create enchanting rituals centered around self-love, attraction, and harmony. Working with color, fashion, or art as a means of spiritual empowerment may come naturally to you. Slow but powerful transformation. Taurus brings steady, long-lasting energy to the transformative theme of the eighth house. While your magical work may not yield instant results, it builds profound and lasting change over time. So how, if you have the eighth house in Taurus, let's look at how you can develop these natural abilities that you already possess. So you want to work with the earth element. So incorporating your crystals, plants, soils into your rituals. Create talismans or charms using natural materials. You want to perform grounding exercises to strengthen your connection to the earth's energy. You want to engage in prosperity rituals. Develop spells or meditations centered on wealth and abundance. Use objects like coins, green candles, and cinnamon to draw prosperity. You also can create sensory rituals, right? So craft rituals that stimulate your senses, such as using scented oils, playing music, or engaging in mindful eating. Connect with the divine through sensory experiences like walking barefoot in nature or bathing in fragrant waters. Focus on healing energy. So practice hands-on healing methods or explore body-centered therapies. Work with grounding affirmations and meditations to help others stabilize their emotions and energies. You also want to adopt patience in your practice. So Taurus energy is methodical. Trust in the process and allow your magical intentions to unfold over time. So that just means that because it's that earth energy, remember earth is an energy that sometimes can look like years. When we look at the tarot, Pentacles is what represents earth signs. Those represent years, so it could take time. Not saying that it's going to be years, but it could take time for your work to actually manifest. So the potential challenges if you have Taurus in the eighth house is that resistance to change. So Taurus can sometimes resist the deep transformation required by the eighth house. Cultivate openness to life cycles of death and rebirth. Material attachment. Be mindful not to become overly attached to material outcomes in your spiritual practice. Stubborn energy. While persistence is a strength, it's important to balance it with flexibility. Okay. So we just explored if you have eighth house, Taurus in the eighth house. Those are your metaphysical abilities, and those are also the steps on how to develop those abilities, as well as a few challenges that you may face if you have Taurus in the eighth house. Let's move on to the next eighth house placement, which is going to be Gemini. If you have Gemini in the eighth house, you are naturally going to be imbued with these metaphysical powers. So gifted in the occult knowledge and learning. So you have a sharp, inquisitive mind that thrives on uncovering hidden truths and exploring mystical topics. Your ability to research and synthesize complex metaphysical concepts allows you to master multiple spiritual disciplines. Powerful communication and magic. So Gemini's influence enhances your ability to speak intentions into existence. Your words carry transformative energy, making you skilled in spellcraft, involving spoken or written words, mantras, incantations, and affirmations, and crafting sigils or charms that encode messages or intentions. We got to think about the fact that, we're talking about utterance, the gift of utterance here. And since Gemini is the energy of communication, it's represented by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. That is all about our utterance. So if you have 8th house in Gemini, then you also have the ability of utterance. So you need to remember that as well, which also means that your words are going to be very powerful. And so you should be careful with the words that you speak out, okay? Next up, we have psychic telepathy and intuition. So Gemini's connection to communication may manifest as telepathic abilities or a strong intuitive sense with when interacting with others. You are naturally attuned to the mental and emotional states of those around you, giving you a gift for understanding hidden motives or emotions. That's really powerful. I will say that, when you go into a room of people, and you can feel the energies and the vibes of those other people, it's really important to know, especially, for instance, let's just talk about Bruce Lee for once. And there's so many of them. And let's just say that I was literally listening to a past life regression for somebody who was a Black Panther, and he was intuitively feeling and knowing that there was a specific person in the room of a Black Panther meeting that he did not trust. We are no longer in the space and the time where we are going to allow our intuitions to go unanswered. While I understand that logic is important, our emotions are just as important, because our emotions is where our intuition actually is. That's when we're talking about intuition, that's emotion, okay? And so when you got a feeling and you got a vibe that there's somebody specifically, there's a certain vibe about that person and it's strong and you feeling it and you knowing it, you need to address it, okay? Because that is why many powerful movements, powerful people have not, they did not use or allow themselves to use their intuition in order to guide them elsewhere in a time when they needed to do so. So I just want to remind you guys of that, okay? Versatility and magical practices. So Gemini's adaptability enables you to explore various occult traditions and practices with ease. You are likely to be a spiritual polymath, blending different techniques and systems into your own unique approach. Channeling and automatic writing. So you may have a natural talent for channeling messages from higher realms or your subconscious mind through automatic writing, journaling, or verbal flow. This ability allows you to act as medium for spiritual insights, ancestral wisdom, or divine messages. Now, once again, we are exploring the metaphysical powers of 8th house in Gemini. So if you have an 8th house in Gemini, what we are talking about here are those abilities that you should naturally have available to you. We will also go into how to develop those powers. But I want you guys to remember that many of us have multiple powers, and we don't just have one. So just because I'm reading about the 8th house in Gemini doesn't, you don't have an 8th house in Gemini, doesn't mean that you don't still have the ability to also have these abilities as well. It doesn't mean that you would not have those abilities. You absolutely don't have it. It just means that these are the strongest abilities that you possess. And so you should be making use of these for sure. And most likely you will naturally attune to these abilities, as I previously expressed a few minutes back. So transformation through knowledge sharing. So you've got the 8th house in Gemini. You've got transformation through knowledge sharing. So your transformative power lies in your ability to teach or share occult knowledge with others. You can demystify, I don't know what that means, complex spiritual concepts and help people on their journeys. You might excel as a spiritual teacher, writer, or counselor in the metaphysical fields. Another option is not option, but another ability that you have is magic of the mind. Your thoughts are powerful tools for manifestation. Visualization, mental projection, and thought-based spell work come naturally to you. Your ability to focus on your mind and maintain clarity enhances the effectiveness of your rituals. So, this is so interesting that, each zodiac sign has these, specific, like, innate abilities based upon the 8th house placement. And many of these things I talk about with you guys often. I talk about this. Your ability to focus your mind and maintain clarity enhances the effectiveness of your rituals. That's for everybody. But specifically, if you have Gemini in the 8th house, this is almost going to be a very natural ability for you. It's going to be very easy for you to do that. So some people have to work at these things. Some people don't have to work at these things. And so that's what this is all about. So moving forward, if you have the 8th house in Gemini, how you want to develop these powers is as such. So you want to study diverse systems. So Gemini's curiosity thrives on variety. Explore astrology, tarot, numerology, and other disciplines to create a broad foundation of occult knowledge. Use communication-based magic. So practice speaking or writing your intentions clearly in rituals. Experiment with spell jars, petitions, or sigils that involve written words. Incorporate sounds and vibrations such as chanting or toning into your spiritual practice. You also want to engage in journaling and automatic writing. Keep a metaphysical journey to journal to record insights, dreams, or channeled messages. Practice automatic writing to connect your intuition or spiritual guides. You also want to focus on intuitive connection. So enhance your telepathic abilities by meditating on the thoughts or emotions of others. You also want to practice intuitive exercises like guessing someone's mood or intentions based on subtle cues. Network and spiritual community. So your natural gift for communication makes you a valuable participant in spiritual groups or discussions. Collaborating with others can expand your metaphysical practice. So those are the ways in which, if you have Gemini in the 8th house, that you can actually develop those natural powers that you have. And of course, just because you have Gemini in the 8th house and I talked about those powers, that does not mean or represent that you don't have other powers that you can also make use of. These are just the ones that you have that are really potent in you, and they're very easy. Most likely they develop naturally within you. Okay. So the potential challenges for these, if you have Gemini in the 8th house, is scattered energy. Ooh. So Gemini's desire for variety can lead to lack of focus. Try grounding your spiritual practice to avoid superficial exploration, which means, jack of all trades, master of none. So you want to make sure that you are grounding your energy and your practices so that you're not just doing it just to say that you've done it, right? You want to actually obtain the knowledge, and you actually want to maintain the abilities to use these skill sets. So overthinking. So your mental agility can sometimes become overactive, leading to analysis paralysis. Incorporate grounding rituals to quiet your mind. So that would be like, going outside in nature, doing some meditation would be absolutely necessary for you. Superficial depth. Avoid the temptation to skim the surface of the topics. Commit to diving deeply into your chosen practices. So this is all about being scatterbrained, honestly. All of these challenges that you may face are about needing to have focus, needing to have consistency and depth. So if you have 8th house in Gemini, those are the things that you definitely want to focus on as it relates to the challenges that you may have for your natural abilities. Okay. Now we're going to go into 8th house in Cancer. So if you have the 8th house in Cancer, these are going to be your natural metaphysical abilities that you already have. It does not mean that you don't have additional other abilities. It just means that these are the ones that are the most potent in you, and most likely they will develop naturally within you as well. So if you've got 8th house in Cancer, you have the intuitive and psychic sensitivity. So Cancer's lunar influence makes you naturally psychic, particularly when it comes to emotional and spiritual energies. Your abilities may include clairsentience, which is feeling energy or emotions of others, precognition, which is dreams and visions, a strong connection to lunar cycles, enhancing your intuition during specific moon phases. Next up, we've got the astral connection and healing. Sorry, ancestral connection and healing. So if you have Cancer in the 8th house, Cancer's nurturing energy makes you a conduit for ancestral wisdom. You may have a talent for communicating with ancestors or spirit guides, healing family karmic patterns or generational traumas, offering support in lineage related spiritual work. Your other metaphysical abilities could also include empathic healing, which means that your emotional depth allows you to absorb and transform negative energies, making you an excellent healer. This also includes emotional and spiritual support for others during times of crisis and energy healing practices that focus on heart and soul. You also are great for protection magic if you have the 8th house in Cancer. Cancer's nurturing nature enables you to create powerful protective energies. You may excel in shielding rituals to safeguard yourself or others from harm, cleansing and blessing spaces to restore harmony and balance, and working with talismans and amulets for emotional or spiritual safety. I want to focus on the shielding rituals to safeguard yourself and others. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of when you create like an actual orb around you, an orb of protection where nothing can get through it. So that's what it looks like to me, like if I were thinking about this on like a visual scale. So just think, you know, just think about, what this actually means. This means that, and I do this all the time. I literally put like a protective shield over my properties and stuff like that. Lately, I haven't done it as much as I've been needing to, but but that's one of the things that I do. So, if you have Cancer in the 8th house, you have the ability to do that. And your protective magic is actually quite advanced. So connecting to water energy, water as Cancer's element enhances your ability to work with emotions and intuitions. You may find power in rituals involving water, such as cleansing baths or scrying with water, connecting with rivers, oceans, or rain for emotional release and spiritual renewal, using the flow of water as a metaphor or for transformation in your magical practices. Next up, we've got transformations through emotional depth. So Cancer in the 8th house allows you to dive deeply into emotional realm, guiding yourself and others through profound personal transformations. So what that means to me is that let's just say you're dealing with a bitter baby mama or a bitter baby daddy. Not to say that you would do this, but I'm just saying, let's just say you're like counseling someone who is a bitter baby mama or a bitter baby daddy. You could literally help them on the emotional scale, on the emotional level. You can almost pull them out of their bitterness into a space of peace and healing, which is beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. So using the flow of water as a metaphor for transformation in magical practices. You also have the ability to for transformation through emotional depth. So Cancer in the 8th house allows you to deeply dive, and I just was reading this one, guide yourself and others through profound personal transformations. You have the ability to help others confront and heal buried emotions, fears, and insecurities. This is good shit. Okay. The reality is that sometimes our blockages are really those fears, insecurities, and those deep down emotions that are set in us that we just have not taken the time to peel back the layer and heal it. And so this is very powerful to be able to help yourself and others do this if you have Cancer in the 8th house. So home-based spiritual practices. So Cancer's association with the home makes your personal space and sacred hub for spiritual work. Okay. Makes your personal space a sacred hub for spiritual work. You excel in creating altars and sacred spaces in your home, performing domestic magic such as rituals for family harmony and protection, using your home as a spiritual sanctuary for yourself and others. So if you have 8th house in Cancer, let's talk about how to develop those powers. So you want to work with the lunar cycles. Track the phases of the moon and align your rituals accordingly. Full moons can amplify your intentions, while new moons are ideal for setting goals and releasing old energies. Okay, so engage in water-based practices. Use water for cleansing and emotional healing. Incorporate ritual baths, water scrying, or offerings to water spirits. How honor your ancestry. So create an ancestral altar to connect with your lineage. Meditate or perform rituals to honor and seek guidance from your ancestors. If you have Cancer in the 8th house, you want to practice emotional alchemy. So focus on transforming negative emotions into positive energy through meditation, journaling, or energy work. Honestly, this is such a powerful ability, and it is absolutely necessary for anybody. Like, if you don't happen to have Cancer in the 8th house and it just doesn't come natural to you, you need to still be practicing this. This is such a powerful modality for healing and getting along your spiritual journey that I'm just going to recommend this additionally to all the other stuff that I recommend to everybody. Okay. So yeah, let's move forward. So practice emotional alchemy. That's what we were just talking about. Focus on transforming negative emotions into positive energy through meditation, journaling, or energy work. You want to use empathy as a tool for healing and understanding others. Like I said, if you've got 8th house in any of these placements, this does not mean that if your 8th house is not in these placements that you don't have these abilities. Some of these abilities are still going to, you're still going to be able to have, you're still going to have them, and they might feel natural to you because nothing. These, if you have 8th house in your plate in specific placements, it just means that these are naturally, like, these are things that you naturally excel in, right? You don't have to work at it or practice at it at all. Okay, so moving forward, you got nurture your space. So transform your home into a sacred and protected space with spiritual tools like candles, crystals, and incense. Perform regular cleansing rituals to maintain a peaceful environment. Potential challenges if you have Cancer in the 8th house. So if you got Cancer in the 8th house, emotional overwhelm, and we saw that with Pisces as well. So Cancer's deep emotional nature can make you susceptible to absorbing too much from others. Oof, I know this feeling. Learn grounding techniques to maintain a balance. Now, oftentimes when I talk to you guys about like how to get yourself grounded and stuff like that, it's because I had to learn this stuff. I had to learn it, okay? And so they do work. They really do work, but you have to do it. It ain't gonna work if you ain't doing the work, okay? That's what we talked about the other day when I said you got to do the work, boo. Okay, you got to do the work, all right? Moving forward, potential challenges for Cancer in the 8th house is overprotectiveness, okay? So your nurturing instincts may lead you to take on other burdens. Establish boundaries to protect your energy. This is so important, okay? All right. Fear of vulnerability. So transformation requires emotional openness. This is true. Embrace the depths of your emotions to unlock your full power. I can tell you that anytime that I've had a real breakthrough, it was because I allowed myself to open up. I allowed myself to remain open. And this last part, fear of vulnerability, transformation requires emotional openness. Transformation requires emotional openness, period. So you need to know that. Okay, if you're not emotionally open, then you're closed off. And if you're closed off, then there's a blockage. And if there's a blockage, it creates a problem, right? Because it's a blockage, okay? Just like when your arteries are blocked up. You might get a heart attack, okay? So just try not to do that. Try to work on allowing yourself to be open emotionally, because it's necessary. It's not only necessary for you to be open emotionally in order to find transformation, but it's also important for you to be open emotionally in order to actually fully engulf and embrace intuition, right? So if you want to be highly intuitive, if you want to be highly connected where you can feel stuff, then you need to open up emotionally, period. And I know a lot of people ain't gonna be understanding that, okay? But it just is what it is. So we just explored if you have 8th house in Cancer, what your natural metaphysical abilities are going to be. So let's move into the 8th house in Leo to find out what your natural abilities are. And let's go into it right now. So if you are Leo in the 8th house, you're charismatic manifestation. Oh, sounds kind of sexy, doesn't it? Your personal energy is magnetic and capable of drawing opportunities and and outcomes towards you. You have a natural ability to manifest through the force of your will and focused intention. Rituals that incorporate creative visualization and affirmations. So if you have 8th house in Leo, you have a natural magnetism, period. Okay? So just know that. You also have the power of creative expression. Leo's creativity makes your spiritual practice vibrant and unique. You may excel in artistic forms of magic, such as creating sigils, paintings, or crafting symbolic objects. You may also excel in using music, dance, or performance as a ritual to channel energy and intentions. You also have transformative leadership. So your innate confidence and presence enable you to guide others through spiritual transformations. You can lead rituals, teach metaphysical practices, or inspire others to explore their own power. You also have the ability to solar energy and light magic. So, ooh, nice. Ruled by the sun, you have a natural connection to the solar energy, making you skilled at working with the sun's cycles for empowerment and renewal. Rituals of light and fire, focusing on growth, purification, and vitality. So if you've got the 8th house in Leo, these are some of the natural powers and metaphysical abilities that you have. Moving on to the next one, inner alchemy and personal power. You have a strong capacity for self-transformation, channeling your personal challenges into sources of strength and wisdom. Your ability to radiate confidence and positivity can uplift others and create profound change. Healing and empowerment. Your presence itself is healing. You have a talent for energizing others, inspiring courage, and helping them overcome fears of insecurity or insecurities. You might excel in energy healing modalities that focus on revitalizing and balancing life force energy. Rituals of recognition and celebration. Leo's love for celebration makes your spiritual work feel uplifting and joyous. You may create rituals that honor life's milestones, victories, and transitions with flair and passion. If you have Leo in the 8th house, you can develop your powers through the following methods. You can incorporate creativity into your practices. So create art, music, or written spells as a part of your rituals. Use vibrant colors and symbols that resonate with your intentions. Design personalized rituals that reflect your your unique personality and vision. You can work with the solar energy, so align your practices with the sun cycle, such as sunrise rituals or new beginnings, or midday practices for strength and clarity. You can meditate on the sun's warmth and light to recharge your energy and amplify your aura. So that means like during the day, sit down outside, do some sun gazing, do some meditating outside in the sun. Those are going to be good to amplify you. If you've got the 8th house in Leo, these are going to be the ways in which you can develop your powers. So you want to embrace your role as a leader. So share your spiritual insights with others through teachings or rituals, guided rituals. Lead by example, showing others how to embrace their own power and potential. Use fire rituals. So fire ceremonies, candle magic, or burning offerings can be especially potent for you. Use fire to release old energies and ignite new passions. You also want to focus on empowerment. So develop affirmations or rituals that strengthen your self-belief and confidence. Help others tap into their inner strength by reflecting their potential back to them. Now, if you've got 8th house in Leo, some of the potential challenges could be ego and overconfidence. Be mindful of balancing your confidence with humility to avoid overshadowing others. Fear of vulnerability. True transformation requires stepping into the shadow. Don't shy away from exploring deeper emotional and spiritual layers. need for validation. Trust in your power without relying solely on external acknowledgement. That is really important. So important. So important. So just now, guys, I'm actually going to end this one here, and I'm going to come back and do another video probably tomorrow or something like that. But we have just explored the natural metaphysical abilities that you have if you have 8th house in Aries, 8th house in Pisces, 8th house in Taurus, 8th house in Gemini, and 8th house in Leo. So tomorrow we will go down the list to look at some other 8th house placement. Oh, we did also Cancer. So we also did the 8th house in Cancer as well. So tomorrow I'll come back and we will do some other placements, the remaining placements, to find out what your magical abilities are naturally based upon your 8th house placement. So if you've enjoyed this video, thank you so much for tuning in. I guess I should stick around for a second to see if anybody has any questions. Balls Deep, what's good? Happy birthday, Balls Deep. What? I missed the comment. I didn't see it come through. So anyway, yeah, like these are the natural capabilities and also some tips on how you can develop those natural capabilities. I will come back tomorrow because honestly, I want to go sleep. Okay. So I'll come back tomorrow and we'll do some more. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know right now. If not, then I guess it is what it is. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Whether you were here for the whole time or just a little time, doesn't matter. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. And also like this video. If you find it helpful, then share it. Listen, it's my belief that we as a collective are not going to get out of this without using our personal power, okay? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We're going to use our personal power to get out of anything that we got to get through, okay? So it's time to knuck if you buck, basically, on a spiritual level. So let's go. We knucking if you bucking. So just now, we just covered your spiritual capabilities from 8th house in Aries to 8th house in Leo. So if you have any of those placements, I actually included Pisces in this one too. So if you have any of those 8th house placements, this video is going to share your natural magical abilities. And it also talks about how you can develop those abilities as well as some of the challenges. So tomorrow we will go through, excuse me, what is it, like Virgo through Aquarius? Yes, tomorrow, Virgo through Aquarius is what we will cover in the 8th house though. So this is not about your sun sign. It's not about your moon sign. This ain't about your ascendant. This is about your 8th house placement, which tells us what your natural magical abilities are, how to develop them, and the potential challenges of that placement. So if there's no questions, then, well, no biggie. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Hopefully you've had a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one.